Right, this is my traveling hat. You cheat and have notes. This is my traveling hat, although it hasn't been my traveling hat the whole time. It started off as a hat that my dermatologist said I needed to have to shade my face from sun causing cancer. That's a good idea. So on one of our trips to Estes Park, there's a leather shop. And in that leather shop, I found this hat. Okay, this is going to be my lawn work outside hat. And it was. You'll see a couple of spots of paint on it that remained from that. But then I would take it when I would travel to see my son in Austin, Texas, or my son and his wife and the grandkids in Cheyenne, Wyoming, who was a firefighter, uh, uh, paramedic. But I would take it there. It's been to Fort Lauderdale. It's been to Seattle, Washington. It's been to Portland. It's been to places all over the country. But then in 2018, I went on a trip to Ecuador. And that's when it started to travel internationally. Went to Ecuador. We sponsored 3 kids there through Compassion International. And I noticed as I'm walking through the city of Guayaquil and some of the coastal towns, I'm getting looks like, hey, nice hat. I like it. So they're asking me where I got it. I speak Spanish, so in Ecuador, I was having a really good time with the people there. And then in 2022, I had the opportunity to travel to Athens, Greece. So it's like, it's coming with me. It's already been through North America, South America. That's going to go to Europe. So I had a 10-hour layover at London Heathrow Airport. Now, you talk about sticking out like a sore thumb, walking through London Airport with this hat. I was getting a lot of looks. I was there for 10 hours, so I thought, hey, I'm going to get some authentic fish and chips in London and some British ale. So I went up to the bar and I got some British ale, and the guy somehow knew I was an American. I was wearing a hat. The guy says, look, you got to understand that there's a problem with British ale. It's warm and it's very strong. It's not what you're used to. Like, okay. He was right. I can only drink half of it. I was, what's the word, spiffed. So went through there, got to Athens. I wore it in Athens, got a lot of attention there as well. And I came home. It's like, okay, it's been to 3 continents now. Several months ago, I went to Istanbul, Turkey. Now, you talk about awkward. You have in a predominantly Muslim country, women with burqas, the head scarves. Then you have the short, stocky guy who kind of looks like them wearing one of these. A lot of attention. Went through the spice markets. My wife wanted Turkish delights. I've never heard of what that was. I've never heard of it. So I'm going through the spice market and I asked the guy if he had any Turkish delights, and he says, "Oh, I got Turkish delight." And I saw these little squares. And I said, "That says Turkish delight." He says, "Oh, no, that's not Turkish delight. This is Turkish delight." These big rolls of all natural fruit, seeds. And he had probably close to 30 different flavors of this stuff. And I sampled every single one of them. Missed dinner. I was so full, I missed dinner. But I ended up walking out of there with about $70 worth of this stuff. Loved it. Was going through the elevator, or on the elevator, the hotel. And two young ladies, I imagine either Slavic or German, saw the hat and said, "Where do you live?" And I said, "I live in the state of Colorado in the United States." And she put her hand on her chest and says, "Oh, I love your accent." I'm in the elevator with one of our board of directors who's from Africa. And as they left, I said, "I have an accent." I didn't know I had an accent. The guy says, "All of us have an accent to somebody." I realized, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So my goal now is to get this hat to Australia, Africa, and somehow Antarctica. I may ship it there and ship it back and say, but that is my goal. And then I'm going to pass it on to one of my grandkids. And then just have this be the legacy of the traveling hat. Yeah.